The government has made it clear it has no plans to back down on the idea of burning of excavators used in illegal mining. The instant destruction of equipment, which has become characteristic of the latest phase of the war against Galamsey under the current Lands and Natural Resources Minister, has been criticized by many who say their action flies in the face of the law being used to fight illegal mining. The small-scale miners especially have threatened to sue if government does not stop the destruction of the equipment. Speaking at the Regional Consultative Dialogue on Small-Scale Mining in Kumasi Wednesday, Sector Minister Samuel Gyinapo said the use of excavators for mining at riverbanks was, quote, an extraordinary problem which requires extraordinary measures to deal with, unquote. Erastus Osarodonko is on this beat for us and filed this report.
The Regional Consultative Dialogue attracted members of the Kumasi Traditional Council, small-scale miners, members of the Regional Security Council, and the general public. All the speakers acknowledged the presence of unseen powerful faces behind illegal mining in the country. Ashanti Regional Minister Simon Osei-Mensah called for the naming and shaming of government appointees behind the illegality.
The destruction of our farmlands affects food security in this country. Also, the destruction of our water bodies has disastrous consequences on this country. My colleague government appointees, we have to lead the fight. And I think any government appointee who is found engaging in illegal mining must be dealt with the highest level of sanctions. It's time we name and shame.
The Ghana Armed Forces recently led an onslaught on illegal miners on water bodies and forest reserves. The modus operandi of the team, including burning of excavators, has raised concerns. But Lands Minister Abdullahi Gyinapo justified the mode of operations, emphasizing an unwavering stance in the fight against illegal mining.
This is about the preservation of our environment and ecosystem. It is about the welfare of generations unborn. It is about the survival of our country. It is without a shred of equivocation about Ghana. On behalf of the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources and myself, I reiterate our unwavering commitment to get on with this national crusade without fear or favor. Blind to partisan political coloration, blind to status in society, and with an absolute dedication steeped in the highest sense of integrity, we must and will preserve our environment.
The Asantehene Otumfuo Osei-Tutu outlined recommendations towards winning the fight against illegal mining.
The illegal mining situation is clearly complex and requires a carefully thought through multi-stakeholder approach if Ghana is to succeed in bringing it under control. With the exception of properly designed alluvial mining operations, mining near rivers and water bodies should be banned. Secondly, in accordance with the Minamata Convention, to which Ghana is a signatory, the use of mercury for gold processing should be banned, given its toxicity to human health and the environment. This should then be replaced with training and capacity building for small-scale miners on less dangerous means of gold recovery. Personal safety and sound environmental practices should be critical aspects of small-scale mining going forward. As is the situation for large-scale mines, reclamation and rehabilitation of mined-out areas should be a key aspect of small-scale mining operations, and renewal of such licenses should be contingent on effective land reclamation. DCEs, as chairpersons of District Security Council, should be held directly responsible for situation of illegal mining within their respective districts.
Members of the Small Scale Mining Association are happy with Otumfuo's call for their involvement in the fight against the menace. Abdul Razak is National Communications Officer.
Otumfuo's wisdom by saying that they should involve us in all the deliberation and discussions for the way forward of this and tackling this illegal menace. That made everybody very excited.
Reporting for Joy News, Erastus Osarodonko, Kumasi.
Small-scale miners were themselves present at the event and have been reacting to the minister's position on the burning of excavators. Erastus Asaridonko joins us with more. Erastus, what have the small-scale miners had to say about the minister's stance on the burning of equipment?
Well, so it's two-way. They are saying that they are not against government's fight against illegal mining, all the measures being adopted by the military, the Operation Halt activities and all that. But what they are concerned about is that some of their members are not mining close to any river body. They have a license and they are working accordingly, and they have their equipment bent. And they do not understand that. And that is what they wanted the minister to come clear on the parameters of the operation of the military team on the field. And so they are okay with the military, with the minister's explanation that the military team has been given specific orders, and they are to enforce the law on miners who are operating close to river bodies, miners who are operating in forest reserves, and that is the parameters they wanted the minister to mention. And so they are not against that. But again, they mentioned that some of their members had their equipment bent. These were miners who were operating legally and away from these parameters. And so they want government to come clean on what they will do, either to pay for the equipment that they bent.
What was creating that excitement whilst you were speaking?
My brother, it's good of clarifying some of these things. If you see a man of wisdom, nobody speaks, nobody says it. The man is a king. He's a real king with wisdom. He speaks with wisdom. Things that he was raising, I think it is time overdue. Sometime in Ghana, anything that we do, we restrict people from speaking the truth. And when it comes that way, we'll never go forward. Always people have an agenda and they want to veer off and go with their agenda. You see the strong king, before he started his speech, he even made it clear that the big man came to him, restricted him of his speech, but he will at least point out one or two things. He made it clear to the whole world. And things that he said, he never missed words, because you cannot fight illegal miners without the involvement of Minerals Commission and the legal ones. At least before 1989, illegal mining was dominated. So 89 that it became a law in Ghana, and we had these mineral laws and those things. Through that, the people of Ghana decided that they should have a Minerals Commission to be regulating these people. At the same time, they formed EPA to be making sure that they will be managing this.
What was creating that excitement?
The excitement was that he was emphatic that minister, before you can fight these people, liaise with this association or liaise with small-scale miners and the Minerals Commission. And all the time, all government upon government, any time that they want to deal with these illegal miners, they do it on their own. They don't involve us. You see the regulatory body put aside, and then they will have their way of doing their own thing. And it's not helping. It has been years upon years that we've been fighting this thing, and it's not helping. It is now time for this government and the minister to understand that there are people who are into that industry. There are people who are real miners. Engage them. They know these illegal miners, and they can help you to fight them. But if you leave them, you put them aside and you want to do it your own way, it will be a difficult task. So to enforce wisdom by saying that they should involve us in all the deliberation and discussions for the way forward of this and tackling these illegal menace. That made everybody very excited.
And Erastus is still on the line with me. Erastus, I'm particularly interested in what it is that Santehene wanted to say that he was restricted. Do you have any idea? Do you perchance happen to have an idea what it was?
Well, he wanted to say the things that is impeding the efforts of successive governments in fighting illegal mining. And he even said a little bit of it before he started his speech. And he said that he has been told to stick to his speech, but then he wants to say that if they take the people in the auditorium, the Great Hall of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology today, if we take 100% of them, 30% of them know who is doing illegal mining, and even 30% of them could be doing illegal mining. And so we all know the truth. If we want to say the truth, we must say it. Otherwise, we'll be moving in circles. Those were his words. And he said he wants to go back to his speech so he doesn't say things that he will regret later.
All right, and I'm wondering who dares to try to stop the Asantehene from speaking his mind. I'm imagining the kind of reaction that went out in the room.
Well, the MC referred to the regional minister that he didn't know that the regional minister had the capacity to be able to stop the Asantehene from going to say his mind, and they all laughed at it. But indeed, that's what he said, that some of the organizers and big men had come to him to say that he must stick to his speech. But he wanted to let people know that we all know who are the ones behind illegal mining. If we don't say the truth, we'll be moving around in circles, and by his own words, we'll be organizing some of these fora, and it will not end anywhere.
At the end of it all, was there anything concrete that you took out of the forum?
Yes, they all agreed that indeed there were powerful hands behind people who are mining in forest reserves and close to river bodies. They are all in concert that the use of mercury should be banned, as the Asantehene said. Again, mining close to rivers or water bodies should be banned permanently. There should be a roadmap set up to regulate mining activities. Those who are into genuine mining should be encouraged, and those who are mining should be identified, arrested, and made to face the law, so that we can mine but still have an environment clean of all the things that we detest now.
All right, thank you very much, Rastus Saradonko, bringing us that update from the forum that took place in the Ashanti Regional Capital, Kumasi, today.